The mayor's going to be here or not?
No, I didn't hear anything. Alyssa, did you hear?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bellefonte Borough Council work session. No council action, either making motions or approvals, is taken during the work session. We have two items for discussion tonight. The first one will be the stage at Talleyrand update with Mr. Michael Pratt of Keller Engineers.
Good evening.
Hi, Michael.
Here tonight on behalf of Friends of Town. 2,000 square foot stage structure to be used for various musical and live performances in the park in the spring, summer, and fall months. Things like dance recitals, plays, the Nittany Valley Symphony has been mentioned. The proposed improvements include construction of the stage structure and an asphalt pedestrian walkway connecting the stage building to the existing small parking lot at the south end of the park. And that's for two reasons. One, to create an accessible pathway to the accessible parking stalls in that parking lot for handicap access to the building, and also a pathway to move equipment back and forth or instruments to the stage structure itself. In addition, the proposal includes reconstruction of those accessible parking stalls. They're slightly out of grade compliance, and the code review process for the structure would have to include those illustrating full compliance with the ADA. So they're a little too steep, and by little I mean very little, but they'll be reconstructed in concrete to achieve that compliance. The zoning of this area is waterfront business district. The structure is going to be a slab on grade foundation with a frost wall perimeter. It's going to be elevated above grade, about think about 4 feet around the surrounding area with steps down to grade. Post and lintel system, so steel wide flange beams and columns with masonry walls, stone veneer on the outside and wood-like siding. And the roof is stick frame with engineered wood products and standing seam, metal, so a metal roof on the building. Permits and approvals include, of course, council approval, conservation district erosion sedimentation control plan approval, a zoning permit ultimately, and a building permit. No utilities proposed at the structure except for power, electric, to power lighting and any equipment. No sewer or water facilities are proposed. The building is in the floodplain. Most of the park is. Therefore, it has to be elevated at or above the 100-year floodplain elevation in that area. It will be elevated about 2 feet above the 100-year flood, and otherwise will comply with all the requirements of the ordinance. And a lot of those are making sure the electrical equipment is elevated above that area as well. And that's the type plan, and at the south of that plan is Water Street, and in the corner there, kind of in that red block, is Pelican Snowball building. The borough also owns that lot. The stage structure is illustrated in yellow, and then the connecting pathways also looks yellow over to the existing parking lot for reconstruction of the parking stalls. And I'll mention that red area is a mapped plume. There were environmental issues associated with the out parcel lot. It had several prior uses. One of them was a gas station. So that shows some potential migration areas or plume areas for soil and water contamination that's been mapped and documented with the department. There's covenants attached to the lot which basically stay out of that area. So this proposal stays completely free of that area. It does not propose any disturbance whatsoever. So basically it's encapsulated right now underneath pavement and lawn grass coverage. Parking for the facility is proposed utilizing existing, which is the south parking lot, a few stalls there, some parking available at the railroad station at the other end of the park, the municipal lot adjoining the park by CVS. That's off-street parking. There's also on-street parking, a significant amount on High Street that should satisfy the requirements of your ordinance. And otherwise, it's a walkable proposition. You would have to walk from the north parking lot areas or stall areas to this. We coordinated with the borough last summer in July. Your ordinance allows for an exemption from stormwater rate and volume control based upon the amount of impervious coverage that we created, which is not very significant. It's less than 10% of the total lot area. Your engineer affirmed that at that time. That leaves stormwater collection and conveyance. Roof water will be collected in gutter systems and downspouts, and the proposal is to convey it to an existing stormwater discharge system over at the water treatment plant area to discharge in the Big Spring Run. The concept planning process is done. We're ready to begin the formal land development plan process per your ordinance. We're here tonight to receive any initial input or comment or feedback you can give us. We anticipate going into design in January and making a February submission to Borough for consideration. Can I answer any questions? The closest would be reconstruction of the parking stalls in the paved parking lot. The ordinance or the deed restrictions indicate that you can't disturb any less than 12 inches below existing grade, so that reconstruction would be less than that. So technically right there, a couple of feet, otherwise well removed from it.
I should say the Planning Commission had an opportunity to hear this presentation last week. I think generally the reception was favorable. There were some questions about how events would be, coordinated, use of facilities, ported with, porta-johns or portable facilities that could be brought in. We've also had some conversation with Mr. Pratt and the folks at the Stage Italian Rank Committee about perhaps having a conversation with the Philatelic Society about shared parking arrangements to provide some additional off-street parking for those events that may exhaust the capacity for off-street parking on site, or perhaps where mobility. Significant comments at the concept plan that were flagged by either the Planning Commission or by staff in our initial review.
Otherwise, we'll appear at the Water Authority meeting tomorrow night. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Mike. We now have an update on the waterfront property.
Good evening. My name is Tom Songer. I'm the co-partner in the Bellefonte Waterfront Associates. We've had meetings with your interim township manager, zoning officer. The easiest way to proceed is for the borough to vacate, in turn would grant an easement to Bellefonte Waterfront.
Dunlop Street to remain under private ownership of Waterfront Associates. The question for council to consider, not necessarily act on tonight, but is how do you want to proceed with respect to the required easements that are needed in order to build the canopy and walkway to access that we choose, kind of conceived as part of the land development planning process. So there's pros and cons to, I think, ability and maintenance of that private right-of-way would be to have that be a private via an easement and a covenant on those deeds.
Currently, the tract of land that we bought from the Borough Industrial Development Waterfront Associates 1, 2, and 3 Street, and that's C&L Lingle Real Estate, and Larry Lingle's here this evening along with his daughter Heather of the My Buzz Cafe, Richard and Kimberly Fornicola, who owns the office building over the raceway behind the My Buzz Cafe, and Richard and Kimberly are here this evening. And the other owner is the Vigilio Investments, which owns the Gamble Mill. So basically, if the borough vacates their ownership of the right-of-way, and what the borough owns again is what is paved, it's illustrated on the plan there. The borough does not own the portion of the right-of-way of Dunlop Street through our property. That's currently green space, and that's part of what we own. So if the borough vacates the right-of-way, half of the right-of-way that currently exists on the paved portions would revert to the 3 property owners whose names I just mentioned, and the rest of the right-of-way on the Spring Creek side would revert to us. And then this private street maintenance agreement would then, which will be recorded and will run with the properties in perpetuity. So if any of the properties are sold, this right-of-way agreement will show up in the title search. But again, Bellefonte Waterfront Associates takes full responsibility for completing the construction of Dunlap Street as well as maintaining it. And by maintaining it, I mean if the road needs repaved, potholes arise, snow, and so forth, all that maintenance reverts back to Bellefonte Waterfront Associates. The 3 existing property owners, whose names I mentioned, would have no responsibility to maintain any of that road ever.
Tom,
Tom, I have a
sounds too good to be true, Tom. It
What's
sounds
that?
too good to be true, but I get it.
Well, no,
you're on. I hear it. Great, super.
Yeah, we've looked at lots of different options, and there's no reason to rehash all that.
Yeah.
But Jeff Stover at the end indicated that the simplest way to go about this is what I've just stated.
Yeah.
And that we're going to be the main beneficiaries of Dunlop Street, so we should own it and maintain it in perpetuity. But it will be a through street, two-way street. That's what it's planned to be. But we're going to have, just so there's no misunderstanding, to control access and to get people to pay for the parking in the parking garage. We will have gates there like you have in any parking facility to control the access. And it'll be set up that if somebody goes in by mistake, if they leave within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, there'd be no charge. So, but all that's indicated on our land development plan, which you have conditionally approved.
I'd like to ask a couple of residents that are out here what issues they might have that we don't know about.
What's that?
The folks out there behind you,
You have any questions? Larry?
come up to the podium.
Yeah, the question I have, Tom, is will the sidewalk that's there currently, the brick sidewalk, will that remain?
It's going to remain on the land development plan up to Richard's property, but then it'll be constructed on the other side of Dunlop Street. So it's continuous on through as a sidewalk, but it's not intended to remain past Richard's property going down to the Gamble Mill.
So right now, next to the cafe,
It'll stay there.
that sidewalk
That
will remain?
stays there, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Tom, we had some discussion in-house with the Streets Committee, and I don't know others. If you'd be heading, I guess, north on Dunlop Street from High Street to Lamb,
Right.
that exit from there is really difficult if you try to turn left with the traffic coming around the corner from the Gamble Mill. Is there any plans to make that a right turn only coming out of Dunlap Street? Are you with me where I'm talking about? If you're at the Gamble Mill
Yeah.
on Dunlop, there's a crosswalk there for patrons to come over from the parking lot, but that
Right.
corner is awfully hard to see traffic coming around there for somebody to pull out and make a left turn. I know you haven't done your land development plan,
Oh,
but
okay.
were there any thoughts of making that a right
Well,
turn?
I think, and we have talked about, in our opinion, even people exiting our surface parking or the parking lot. We believe if people are heading even towards the State College direction to I-99, we want to put up signage, but this will be done after, with input from our traffic engineer, Doug Hill of Wooster Associates. We want to put up signage. If you're coming out of the parking garage, turn right, go to Lamb Street, go to Water Street then, and go straight through the intersection at Water and High. If you come out of the parking garage, you turn left, you go to High Street, and you're headed towards State College. That's a tough turn, that right turn there. So we want to put up appropriate signage to encourage people to go in the direction that makes, in our opinion, and the traffic engineer's opinion, the most sense. But all that would be reviewed with you, the borough, and the borough staff before we ever implemented it. But we've had our traffic engineer, Doug Hill, look at this, and his opinion is, and we shared that with PennDOT, and they're reviewing his opinions right now. And we did have a meeting with PennDOT staff on a Zoom meeting, which David attended and Gina attended, that really the overall project is considered a low volume, okay? There aren't, it's not expected that this is going to cause any traffic problems or traffic issues. So we have, but that opinion of our traffic engineer is under review by PennDOT at the current time.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Songer, I have great respect for what you do, and I know there are roadblocks. As mayor of the borough of Bellefonte, I am asked weekly, at least once a week, is this project happening? When is this project happening? And I simply don't have an answer. Could you update us as to the time frame of this project?
Right. Well, the biggest challenge, and I've said this all along, is financing the parking garage. This is not easy. I've never done a parking garage in my career, and we're thankful for and I've never taken $1 of grant money ever in my 50+ years of doing development. But this is something that's of benefit to the borough, and not only our project downtown Bellefonte, and it's been quite challenging, first with COVID, and then as material prices have increased 20–30%, it's been more difficult. But we think we have a plan to get it financed. As a matter of fact, I just met with my bank this morning. I would say it's looking very promising. And our goal, and I said this morning when we were meeting with our financial institution, our goal still is start this spring. But I can't go out to bids for the parking garage until I have the financing in place. But I think all I can say is right now we have the best financial plan we've had, and I think we can do it. As soon as I get the financing in place for the parking garage, we will then, my partners who's in charge of the hotel, we'll get the financing in place for the hotel, which they don't believe is any problem at all. And we'll be able to launch this thing this spring, with the goal being to have the hotel and parking garage completed by July of 2027. And then our goal is, as soon as the parking garage is completed, begin the construction of the residential condos over top the parking garage. And as soon as we start the parking garage, we're going to be marketing the condos. And we're working hard on all facets of that. We value engineered the project. We haven't been sitting around doing nothing. we've actually improved the project a great deal, but it's taken, you know, and material prices have stabilized, and we think now, and interest rates are coming down, which is helping also with the project, but it's a big undertaking. So I guess at this time, then, the borough would have to take official action.
I just wanted to say, Randy wanted me to
Oh,
say
okay.
something. Good evening, Rich Fornicola, Bellefonte resident, owner of, in addition to this proposal, Mr. Lingle, Mr. Viglio, and myself, along with David, we just met last week at the My Buzz Cafe on where our interests are protected. Actually, had I known the borough was willing to cede half of Dunlap Street back to me, the property owner, that, you know, we're studying this too as property owners, and we haven't talked to Mr. Viglio or not, but Mr. Lingle and myself have talked, and so we'll be showing you this agreement.
So I believe
Find the easement and private street an ordinance to officially vacate the public sections of Dunlop Street. So I think there's still some things that need to talk about our most recent conversations. I think Council, Mr. Johnson brings up a opportunity to weigh in on some of that. I do believe there are site distance issues there that would likely warrant a right-in, right-out restriction. So I think we have to have some further conversations, because if those turning lane restrictions, but also we don't necessarily have to, or, you know, by extension, the developer doesn't necessarily have to restricted, as opposed to if it were a public right-of-way, it would have to meet certain warrants and be validated by an engineering.
aware of is located Dunlop Street, and as such, it is no longer a public street document, but it really can't, the right-of-ways.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bellefonte Borough Council Business Meeting. Would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Could we have roll call, please?
Mr. Bernier.
Here.
Mr. Brackville.
Here.
Ms. Cleaton. Here. Ms. Dan.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Present.
Ms. McKean.
Here.
Ms. Purnell.
Here.
Ms. Sedgwick.
Here.
Ms. Tosti Vasey is here. Ms. Meckley is excused, and Mayor Johnson. Here. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Additions to the council meeting agenda. Under Act 65 of 2021, if a matter is not on the agenda, council may take official action on it with the following exceptions. Council can act on matters relating to potential or real emergencies. Council may add a matter of agency business to its agenda through a majority vote. The council must state why the action item is being added to the agenda. Is there anything to add this evening? Public comment. Borough Council intends to take public comment related to the motion that is on the floor after it has been duly made and seconded. The order of comments will be public comment and then council comment, including proposed amendments by council members. If amendments are proposed to the original motion, the public will then only comment on the amendment before the final vote is taken. You must be a Bellefonte resident, a nonprofit representative, a business owner, or official representative of another governmental agency. Speakers shall identify themselves by name and street, municipality if outside the borough of Bellefonte. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Tonight we have special public comment, and this is the hearing on the proposed 2026 budget. This public comment period is for oral comments regarding action items on this meeting agenda regarding the budget. You must be a Bellefonte resident, nonprofit, business owner, or official representative. Speakers shall identify themselves, and comments are limited to 3 minutes. Do we have anybody that signed up to speak, Alyssa? There's no one. Is there anyone here that did want to make comment on the budget? Great, thank you. Under communications, the swearing-in ceremony for county elected officials is on Friday, January 2nd, 2026 at 9 a.m. in courtroom number 1. The program will include a listing for Bellefonte Borough Council members. However, individual names will not be listed. If you wish to be sworn in to the common pleas judge at this ceremony, please contact Kendra McInnes at the county offices. If a decision is made close to or on the day of the ceremony, you will still be included. So if you need to do that, please do. Under the consent agenda, all items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and will be acted upon by a single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless members of council request specific items be removed for separate action. Could I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Could we have a roll call vote, please, Debbie?
Mr. Bernier. Yes. Mr. Brackville.
Yes.
Ms. Cleaton. Yes. Ms. Dan.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. McKean.
Yes.
Ms. Purnell.
Yes.
Ms. Sedgwick.
Yes.
Ms. Tosti Vasey.
Yes.
Thank you.
Under our reports from elected officials and staff reports, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I have a letter that I would like to share with council and with the public tonight that I recently received from Chief Whitmer on some notable incidents within the borough. I am writing to make you aware of notable incidents within the borough that were handled by our department exceptionally over the last 3 months. I believe we need to recognize members of our department for doing an excellent job as their efforts solved significant cases and prevented further destruction. I would also like to acknowledge and thank the borough staff and partnering agencies whose support and collaboration were instrumental in these successful outcomes. Incident 1. On September 2nd, 2025 at 1:47 a.m., Corporal Holt was dispatched to 160 Dunlap Street, the location of the Gamble Mill, for a fire alarm. It was discovered on scene that there was an active fire intentionally lit inside the structure. The fire was quickly extinguished and the scene was preserved for an investigation. The fire marshal was called to the scene to assist with the investigation. The following morning, a Bellefonte Public Works employee, Craig Harold, who installed the borough surveillance cameras, located the suspects on different cameras, revealing the suspects' identities. Officer Luce and Officer Hurd then interviewed the suspects, which resulted in confessions. The suspects were then arrested for their crimes. I would like to recognize Corporal Holt, Officer Hurd, and Officer Luce for their hard work and dedication. I would also like to recognize and thank Craig Harold, the Undine and Logan Fire Company, and Fire Marshal Scott Swassing of the Pennsylvania State Police for their professionalism and efforts. Together, the coordinated efforts of our department, borough staff, and partnering agencies ensured a swift resolution and demonstrated the strength of our community's commitment to public safety. Incident 2. On October 11th, 2025 at 7:09 p.m., Corporal Holt and Officer Bowman conducted a traffic stop in the 100 block of North Allegheny Street. Once officers exited their vehicle, the suspect vehicle sped off. The vehicle failed to negotiate a turn at the 700 block of Allegheny Street and went off the road. When officers arrived at the crash location, the driver brandished a gun at officers before discarding it. Both the driver and passenger were arrested. At the completion of the investigation, there were 2 handguns found, over $1,200 in cash, multiple pills, drug paraphernalia, 106 grams of suspected meth, and 30.7 grams of cocaine. I would like to recognize Corporal Holt and Officer Bowman for being proactive, displaying good tactics, and completing a thorough investigation that resulted in removing 2 suspects selling controlled substances to the residents of Bellefonte. Incident 3. On October 27, 2025, a parked vehicle was located in the Bellefonte Borough that had been stolen from the Lock Haven area. The suspect left the vehicle stolen from the Lock Haven area behind to then steal a vehicle from a Bellefonte resident. The vehicle was later involved in a pursuit in Ohio. It was later discovered a co-conspirator had stolen another vehicle from a Bellefonte residence and took property out of several vehicles within the borough. Through follow-up investigations by Corporal Holt, Officer Walter, and Detective Larkin, the suspects were identified and the stolen property was recovered. I would like to recognize Corporal Holt, Officer Walter, and Detective Larkin for their hard work and determination in conducting persistent follow-up investigations that successfully identified the suspects and recovered the stolen property. These are just a few of the incidents that I believe deserve to be highlighted. All officers of the Bellefonte Police Department have worked diligently and demonstrated dedication to keeping our community safe. I would also like to acknowledge the invaluable support of Bellefonte staff, our partner agencies, whose collaboration and professionalism helped make these successes possible. Their combined efforts reflect a strong commitment to public safety and the well-being of our community. If I could please have Officer Walter, Officer Hurd, Officer Luce, Corporal Holt, and Officer Bowman please come up. Chief Whitmer, would you join us, please? We have a certificate for each that reads, "This certificate of recognition is hereby presented to each of you in recognition of outstanding service, dedication, and professionalism demonstrated in the performance of official duties. Your commitment to excellence and your valuable contributions to the operations and success of the Bellefonte Borough are sincerely appreciated. On behalf of the Mayor, Borough Council, and the residents of Bellefonte Borough, we extend our gratitude for your continued service and exemplary efforts." Thank you each. Just one of the many reasons I'm the proud mayor of Bellefonte, and very proud to work with the ladies and gentlemen who care and keep our community safe. So one more round of applause for all of them.
Next, under police, we have our November 2025 report and the oath of office for our new police officers.
I think first we'll talk about my November report. Hopefully everyone had a chance to review it. As you can see, we're quite busy. Some of our highlights and accomplishments. Is Jessica here? Jessica. So we welcome our new administrative assistant, Jessica Javorkovich. Sorry, I butchered her name. She's quite shy, so make sure you go up and meet her and talk to her a little bit. Our second accomplishment, Officer Bowman. He is a certified field training officer now. He began his training in November and he has completed it, so he's certified field training officer now. So, anybody have any questions for my report? Okay, thank you. Now we'll get to the fun stuff here. So again, good evening, Borough Council members. I'm pleased to be in front of you tonight to present to you the newest members of the Bellefonte Police Department. But first, I'd like to thank you as council members for recognizing the need to continue to hire the staff that I need to maintain the high level of police service that you and the Bellefonte community expect. The Bellefonte community should be proud that they put each one of you in a leadership role for this community, knowing that you make public safety a priority. So I thank you. First, I'd like to call up Officer Amanda Barnes. Officer Barnes is a Clinton County native, graduating from Central Mountain High School. After high school, Officer Barnes enrolled in Lock Haven University, where she earned her degree in criminal justice. Officer Barnes' interest in law enforcement grew as she then enrolled in the police academy at Mansfield University. Sorry about that. After receiving her Act 120 certification, Officer Barnes began her career at the Clinton County Correctional Facility, UPMC Williamsport as a police officer, and the Muncie Borough Police Department. Over the last 3 years, Officer Barnes has been employed as a police officer with the Spring Township Police Department. Officer Barnes comes to our department with on-the-job experience. She is a certified CPR, first aid certification. She's standardized field sobriety test certified. She's TASER certified, and she's a child car seat technician. Officer Barnes is looking for a new beginning in law enforcement and has expressed interest in community relations and wants to be a part of the Bellefonte community. Officer Barnes will bring our department on-the-job knowledge, experience, and we're excited to have her join our team. We welcome you. Our second officer, Officer Thomas Snyder. You can stay up here, Amanda. Come over here, stand beside Mayor Johnson. Our second officer, Thomas Snyder. Officer Snyder is from the Center Region, graduating from Bald Eagle High School. During his high school years, Officer Snyder participated in sports, football, wrestling, and baseball. Officer Snyder's other interests are hunting. He is an avid hunter and practices as a taxidermist. After high school, Officer Snyder enrolled in Lock Haven University and is just shy of receiving his associate's degree in criminal justice. In March of 2020, Officer Snyder enlisted in the U.S. Air National Guard and will be finishing his service to our nation in 2026. Officer Snyder is following in his father's footsteps, Detective Tom Snyder Sr. of the Patton Township Police Department. I know his father's proud of him, as he himself worked for the Bellefonte Police Department from 1998 to 2001. Officer Snyder comes to our police department to start his law enforcement career. We are excited to have him join our team, as he will train to be a productive member of our police department. We welcome him. I'd like to ask the mayor to come up and Judge Gillette Walker to come up and give them their oath. If you want to come around here. And you'll come around here.
Amanda, if you will raise your right hand. I, Amanda J. Barnes, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the laws and ordinances of the Borough of Bellefonte, and obey all the laws and regulations pertaining to and governing the Borough of Bellefonte, and that as police officer of the Bellefonte Borough Police Department, I will well and faithfully discharge and perform all the duties of my office accordingly to the best of my knowledge and ability. I, Thomas E. Snyder, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the laws and ordinances of the Borough of Bellefonte, and obey all the laws and regulations pertaining to and governing the Borough of Bellefonte, and that as police officer of the Bellefonte Borough Police Department, I will well and faithfully discharge and perform all the duties of my office according to the best of my knowledge and ability. Thank you.
One more time. You, Amanda J. Barnes, solemnly swear or affirm that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and that you will perform the duties of police officer for Spring Township and Bellefonte Borough with fidelity. Do you, Thomas E. Snyder, solemnly swear or affirm that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, that you will perform the duties of police officer for Spring Township and Bellefonte Borough with fidelity?
I do. Thank you.
Now I'll ask the person of their choice to come up and pin their badge on their shirt. Borough Council, I present to you our newest members of the Police Department. Thank you.
Chief, would you like a few minutes to get some pictures?
If you can give me like 2 or 3 minutes, that'd be great.
Go. Next on our reports, we do have our parking report. I want to thank Ms. McCullough for always doing a great job with that. It's always easy to read and understand, and we appreciate that very much. Office of Community Affairs. Gina, would you like us to have a motion and a second first?
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
you could do that.
Great, thank you. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the issuance of a certificate of appropriateness for the following project, 203 North Spring Street, that is the Presbyterian Church, installation of gabion basket bank stabilization retaining wall at the rear of the church parcel above the TMG Builders Building.
So moved, Clayton.
Thank you. Thank you. Gina, do you want to present that, and then if we have discussion, we can do that? Is that okay?
Yeah, just, there's a gabion basket retaining wall that is behind TMG Builders. It's actually on the property of the Presbyterian Church that's on Spring Street, and it's just to stabilize the bank that is back there. If you've driven by or walked by along Water Street, you'll notice that that hillside is crumbling away and causing some damage to the TMG Builders property. So I'll gladly answer any questions about that.
Does anyone have any questions for Gina about this? Could we have a roll call vote then, please?
Mr. Bernier? Yes. Mr. Brackbill?
Yes.
Ms. Clayton? Yes. Ms. Dan?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. McKean?
Yes.
Ms. Purnell?
Yes.
Ms. Sedgwick?
Yes.
Ms. Tosti Vasey? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Gina, was there anything else you wanted to talk about, or if council has any other questions?
Sure. I just wanted to highlight something that is in the OCA memo, just for the public's knowledge. There was a zoning hearing board that took place on December 8th to consider 2 variance requests. I had put the legal notices in your previous packet, and those variance requests were both from the Center County government for signage at 502 East Howard Street, which is their new community services building, and then 420 Home Street, which is their main county offices. And both of those variances were granted by the zoning hearing board. And of course, according to the Pennsylvania Municipalities Code, council could appeal that decision if you so chose to, but those were granted and the signage is approved. So I just wanted to mention that. And then also, I had put in my report that I would be getting out the short-term rental renewal applications and notices to our local short-term rentals, and those did go out today. So for those folks in the borough that have short-term rentals, should be receiving those renewal checklists and applications, and to get them back in, and so I can get those renewed and issued.
Gina, not to put you on the spot, but
Sure.
do you have a number of how many?
I do. It is either 22 or 23. We have 2 or 3 short-term rental properties that have a couple. So I'm pretty sure it's 23, but I'm not 100% sure.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions or comments from my report? All right. The hard meeting for next Tuesday is canceled as there are no projects for review. So that's all. All right. Thank you, council.
Thank you very much, Gina. We also had Mr. Pabalka's manager report. Did you want to add anything or make any comments?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Just a couple things to add to my report. On December 8th, a second meeting of the Benner Pike Corridor Study Steering Committee was held. That has been largely facilitated by the work of the Center County Metropolitan Planning Organization and the use of a third-party consultant. Really, at this juncture, they're still determining the existing conditions in the corridor. As you probably are aware, there's a great deal of variability with respect to the right-of-way and the shoulder widths and the cartways and that are out there. There's also a lot of variability with speed limits that fluctuate throughout the corridor, and of course those are all existing conditions, and I think they are further they're pressured more by the potential for development along the Benner Pike corridor, what we might see with the development of the mall, and of course the uncertainty of the Rockview State Correctional Institution that will be closing very shortly. So there's still quite a bit that's up in the air, and we had a lengthy discussion about how to polish their scope of work so that they can at least have some better predictability and higher validity, hopefully, of the results. This week, Gina and I attended joined some of the design and construction team at the Bellefonte School District Elementary School to talk about a temporary certificate of occupancy. So we'll be working with Center Region Code Agency on how they might be able to accommodate that request. And then lastly, staff has been attending a couple of presentations from vendors who provide virtual pavement condition assessments. A lot of this technology is kind of new to me, but and I think reasonably new in general, but depending on whether council wishes to proceed, and we do have an allocation in the 2026 budget, we may be able to implement that technology and use it to better inform some of our capital improvement plans and street pavement planning in the future. So more to come on that. We're going to request a vendor present to the Streets Committee in January, and then see what their reception is to advancing that through council. That's all I have to report, unless there's any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will move on to committee reports. The first one is Environmental and Parks Committee and Ordinance. Joanne, your report.
There's no additional items in the, sorry about that.
That's okay.
There's no additional information other than what was in the report that I submitted.
Okay, thank you very much. Finance and Administration, Ms. Clayton.
The Finance and Admin Committee met on November 18th and discussed personnel issues. We will be meeting tomorrow, Tuesday, December 16th at 5:30 here in council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you. Infrastructure and Public Works, Mr. Brackbill.
Okay, I think in October, there were two of us that came to the meeting. We had about a 10-minute meeting. And in November, I came down by myself, told myself to get out, so I did. And also have December we canceled, so everything will have to restart in January. But we are still, the steps out front that needed some repair is on a temporary process that will hopefully hold up until spring. These are the steps out front. Council meeting room, furniture, lowering the speakers and things like that we still need to address at some point in 26. That's all I have.
Thank you. Public Transportation Task Force Committee. Ms. Clayton or Ms. Tosti-Vasey.
You want me to do the report then?
What I have is for our next meeting, which will be tomorrow. We'll be meeting tomorrow at 3 to review a mission statement that Dave and Joanne and I put together to review it and get some feedback from other members of the task force. And we're also waiting for documentation from Greg Couch about doing a long-term transit development plan.
Joanne, did you have anything to add to that?
I don't have anything to add to what Jen just said.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, we will move on to liaison reports. The first one was Workplace Safety Committee with Alyssa. Did you have anything you wanted to comment on, Alyssa, or does anybody have any questions? Okay. Mr. Johnson, did you have anything on the Borough Authority or the Airport Authority this time?
We met, the Borough Authority meets tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We will be having a presentation by Weber Murphy Fox, and we'll be discussing the new possibly landscaping and cover of the Big Spring. And it's expected that the Talleyrand Stage folks will be there as well, because we're hoping to migrate the two projects sort of together. So we're hopeful that they can have an input into this redesign. The airport just met, and I don't have the minutes from that meeting at this time.
Can I ask you, we
Yes.
do not have a new airline yet, is that
We do not.
correct?
We have we're still soliciting for that right
Okay.
now, and we're developing an air fund, and the borough has committed $5,000 to that fund, and I've asked that we keep that in escrow. And David is preparing an MOU to give to Greg Scott, the head of that Air Service Development Committee. So we'll have it on hand when it's needed. Is that pretty accurate, David? What?
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you very much. Ms. Clayton, you have the library, Center County Library report. Is there anything you wanted to add or comment?
Not to the report necessarily, but tomorrow on the Commissioners, Board of Commissioners agenda, the commissioners are going to be recognizing Denise Stika, who's the retiring director of the Center County Library and Historic Museum, for her many, many years of service.
Oh, nice, thank you. And Mr. Johnson, did you have anything besides what was submitted for the MPO? For the MPO?
No, those are the notes from that meeting.
Okay, great, thank you very much.
You do know that we appointed Gina, or to the, not the technical committee, so she's been officially appointed to that. And she'll be the representative from Nittany Valley Planning Commission.
Great, thank you. Under current and old business, the 2026 council meeting schedule is the proposed. Oh, I'm sorry, did I miss you? Why do I always miss that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Civil service, I sat in with the police officers to complete interviews in November. There was 2 people that we interviewed. The Spring Creek Watershed Commission member meeting took place in November. From there on, Bellefonte Fire Department committee canceled their meeting, and Center Region Council of Governments also canceled their meeting. And that's it.
Thank you. Any other liaison reports I may have missed? Current and old business, 2026 council meeting schedule. This is the proposed schedule. Council is only considering the dates of our meetings. The authorities, boards, and commissions will be doing the same. Could I have a motion and a second to approve the 2026 council meeting schedule?
So moved. Clayton?
Second, Brackbill.
Is there any discussion or questions? Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bernier? Yes. Mr. Brackbill?
Yes.
Ms. Clayton? Yes. Ms. Dan?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. McKean?
Yes.
Ms. Purnell?
Yes.
Ms. Sedgwick?
Yes.
And Ms. Tosti-Vasey?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tax ordinance number 1215-2025-01. Could I have a motion and a second to approve the tax ordinance 1215-2025-01, and if there are any modifications to that? Could I have the motion and second, please?
So moved. Clayton?
I'll second. Purnell?
Is there any discussion? Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bernier? Yes. Mr. Brackbill?
Yes.
Ms. Clayton? Yes. Ms. Dan?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. McKean?
Yes.
Ms. Purnell?
Yes.
Ms. Sedgwick?
Yes.
Ms. Tosti-Vasey?
Yes.
Thank you.
'26 borough budget. Could I have a motion and a second to approve the 2026 budget for Bellefonte Borough, please?
So moved, Brackbill.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions?
Yes, just a clarification. This is for the public, because I know they're very interested in the Parkview stoplight. On line 433.740 in the streets budget, there was no expenses noted for the Parkview Drive traffic signal. I checked with Dave this morning, and he said that the traffic control light for the Parkview traffic signal has been moved out of the streets budget and split between the capital improvements and bulk water budget. The capital improvements budget, line 433.700, contains an expense of $165,000 for traffic control devices for streets. And the other half of the traffic control is located in the bulk water fund, also for $165,000. So we're not getting rid of it. It's just the lines have been moved to different budgets.
Thank you, Joanne. Do you have anything to add to that?
That's nothing to add. That Ms. Tosti-Vasey is absolutely correct. The one unknown at this point is the status of our Center County Liquid Fuels grant application. We have not budgeted any revenue from that grant because it's typically left unbudgeted until there's an award made. We were hoping there would be some announcement made this month before this hearing, but unfortunately we've not yet heard. So if there is a successful grant application for that specific project, the Parkview Zion signal installation, then we can, account for it as revenue accordingly.
Thank you. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bernier? Yes. Mr. Brackville?
Yes.
Ms. Cleaton? Yes. Ms. Dam?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. McKean?
Yes.
Ms. Purnell?
Yes.
Ms. Sedgwick?
Yes.
Ms. Tosti-Vasey?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have the 2026 Bellefonte Borough fee schedule. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the 2026 Bellefonte Borough fee schedule?
So moved, Cleaton.
Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a question about the special event fee that was new this year for $30, and now it's going up to $100. And I need some clarification on how that actually works. Is this, if a group wants to hold an event in Talleyrand Park, they pay an application fee. If they're a nonprofit, they could potentially be waived the rental fee. Do they then have to pay the special event fee on top of that?
So as of right now, there is the special event fee that is for any special events. There is the rental fee for Talleyrand Park for weddings and for like church events that are outside the borough that have just been paying the reservation fee, the deposit, and the application fee of $30. There's two different forms. The special event application is for example, like Winter Market, Victorian Christmas, the cruise, the Arts Fest, and those types of events that are going on in town.
Okay, so the Winter Market is specifically Victorian Christmas, because we just had that. I understand that it would be a special event, basically in the downtown business district. The Winter Market would also have to pay $100 on top of their $30 application fee to use the park?
No, so they would only be paying the $100, their application for the special event. That's a different application versus just using the park. The ones that are filling out the application with the deposit and the reservation for use of the park usually don't require really anything from the borough staff. It's usually they're just using the park, the restrooms as they're unlocked during the 7 to 7, and cleaning up after themselves, and they only get one side of the park versus having both. For the special events, for example, using Winter Market, they use both sides of the park. We have refuse coming in, emptying trash cans. We have different things set up for electrical. We also have the restrooms open longer for them, and then there's other moving parts that are requested. So it's more in depth of what's being asked in the special events versus somebody that's just running the park for possibly like a church service where they're not asking for anything other than use of the space.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Are there other questions on the fees? Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bernier? Mr. Brackbill?
Yes.
Ms. Cleaton? Yes. Ms. Dan?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson? Yes. Ms. McKean?
Yes.
Ms. Purnell?
Yes.
Ms. Sedgwick?
Yes.
Ms. Tosti Vasey?
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to new business. April Ressler and Barbara Smith from the Teeter Group. Would you like to come up, please?
Make sure I get this turned on correctly.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for inviting us here for this evening. My name is April Ressler. I am president, owner, and agent at Teeter Group Insurance. With me tonight is Barb Hoover-Smith, our workers' comp risk management specialist at the agency. And I just really appreciate the opportunity to be in front of you to present you with a very special award. We are here tonight to recognize the borough for earning a Safety Achievement Award from Encova Insurance Company. This recognition reflects deliberate efforts and strong partnerships focused on protecting borough employees and public resources. Now, the role of Teeter Group in this whole partnership, I just want to expound on a little bit. It was about 4 years ago when we were engaged to become the agent for the borough and handling the insurances, so the property casualty and the workers' comp insurances. And at that time, there was some opportunity to improve some of the policies, procedures, claims handling, et cetera, to obtain some better results and better financial outcomes. And so we at that time recommended placing insurance with Encova, who was the carrier of choice. We did that based off of the carrier being a strong partner with the agency. We have a good relationship with the underwriters, the loss control folks, the claims professionals, and it's really been, I'd say, a three-way partnership between your staff and your people, our folks, and then the team at Encova. So just briefly, a little bit about the award. Encova is a carrier that does work with both public and private sector organizations, but they really do strive to improve workplace safety and manage risk. And each year they have the choice to assign these safety awards to their clients. They assign these to organizations who must have achieved or be actively working towards key milestones on what they call their Encova's roadmap to success. And that whole roadmap, which Alyssa's familiar with and has seen, it really focuses on leadership's involvement, employee engagement, and measurable safety outcomes. So how everybody is selected in terms of these awards, it is very selective. There's a safety consultant assigned to handle certain clients throughout the state, and the most that they give out each year is 10 in the entire state of Pennsylvania. So you are one of up to 10 who are getting this award this year. And again, it's based off your performance, your results, and Joel Stuyvesant is your loss control person, which Alyssa's probably the one that knows or has gotten to meet him the best, and some of the other folks on the safety committee, but he's selected you. So we are proud to be here tonight to welcome you, or to give you this award. A couple of other points I want to share with you. Back when we started working together, you were experiencing some volatility in the results of your insurance program, and very specifically your workers' comp program. And that volatility can come from a variety of reasons, but claims management, claims frequency, a variety of different factors play into that challenge. And I'm delighted to share with you that when we first started working with you, your experience factor, it's an experience mod, you were at almost a 1.4. And to kind of put that into simple terms for folks, a 1.0 is like a grade of C, getting a C in school. So anything over a 1 is worse than a C, so a D, an F. The higher you are, the worse you are. And you were around a 1.4. Right now, you're currently sitting at a 0.948, so you've dropped below 1, which was fabulous. That translates into real savings, so that's real money back in your pocket, so that's dropped very substantially. And Ellis already knows this, and we've already had to give this number to you, but we are projecting your mod to drop to a 0.706. So we do a lot of number crunching in the background, monitoring claims, working with your team, and that's a real measurable financial statistic that puts you in one of the best. Like, you're at the A+. So we've gone from where we were to where we are, and that's just been in the 4 years. And that's just a nice measurable. To put numbers to it, you're basically cutting your premiums in half, which is a nice savings that you're giving back to the taxpayers who are paying them to support what you guys do. So, a couple of other accomplishments I did want to share with you. I mean, and Alyssa's really been a driver for this, and we appreciate the partnership so much. They've strengthened the incident investigation process. We've really gotten supervisors on board. Managers are assisting to identify the root causes of accidents to try to prevent things from happening again. Barb's worked diligently with the folks like Joel to help update the safety and health policies and the whole procedure manual. You guys had a manual and you had policies and procedures, but some of them were a little dated. They were a little dated, and we've worked together to update those to make them more relevant, more meaningful, more timely. So you've worked great to help us with that. You've implemented this lone worker notification program, and I can tell you, as we toured the wastewater plant and saw where people were working alone in those dark tunnels underground, it presented a concern and some scary, if something happened to someone while they were down there by themselves, how would anybody know about it, or how long would it take for somebody to know about it? And very, very quickly, you guys jumped on implementing a program to help with the technology from Grace Industries to make it measurable, to be able to find somebody if something happened quickly. And you've really got a robust physical inspection program to identify risks and hazards that will hopefully get fixed quickly and prevent accidents and injuries from happening. So I just can't compliment the team for how much we've accomplished in just 4 short years, and then seeing the results on paper, and then seeing that Encova is recognized in it too as one of the best in the state. We really thought it was a nice award for you guys to get, and wanted to be here in person to give it to you. It's not just the safety committee, so I don't want to just say it's just the safety committee. We know it takes leadership, management, and every employee. So we just want to make sure that that's communicated to all of you, council, for hiring us. We appreciate that. Leadership, management, employees buy-in, everyone. It starts at the top, but it goes all the way down. And so we're just very pleased to be here tonight to give you the award. And I think Barb's got it pulled out here for you. It's a little fancy. It just says the Encova Safety Recognition Award presented to the Borough of Bellefonte for 2025. So it's not, as the agenda says, just to the safety committee. This is to the Borough of Bellefonte. So congratulations. And if we don't mind, we'd like to snag a picture with whomever will take a picture with us. Or answer any questions. We love talking about insurance. We could go on and on and on. Perfect, thank you. Thanks so much.
Next on new business, Young Oaks Brown and Company PC engagement letter to retain for auditing services for Bellefonte Borough. Can I have a motion and a second to accept the engagement letter from Young Oaks Brown and Company PC to retain them for auditing services?
So moved.
And for transparency, for a total amount of $83,620 for complete auditing services.
I'll second that, Clayton.
Thank you. Is there discussion on this? Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bernier? Yes. Mr. Brackbill?
Yes.
Ms. Clayton? Yes. Ms. Dan?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. McKean?
Yes.
Ms. Purnell?
Yes.
Ms. Sedgwick?
Yes.
And Ms. Tosti Vasey?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Under new business, we have Nittany office equipment quote. Mr. Johnson has asked that we have this removed from the agenda. Is that okay with you to do it
Yes,
that way?
we need to take a look closer at that proposal. Maybe
Okay.
we could do it in January, but yes, please.
Thank you. Under our authorities, boards, and commission vacancies, all the appointments, appointments and reappointments will be made at the January 5th, 2025 council meeting. You do have information on those that have volunteered to serve. Borough.
I have a comment.
Okay.
In Deb Clayton's library report, it was noted that the terms for the library board are moving to 4-year terms starting on January 1st, 2026. Therefore, the expiration date for the board, this particular board member should be changed to 12/31/2029.
Joanne, the library terms have always been 3 years. It's been on the borough information as 4. It's 3-year terms with a 2-term limit. And I'm not sure where the 2028, it shows a vacancy as 2028, and I don't know who that would be. The incoming person in January will be a 3-year term. My second 3-year term will be up next year. So thank you for pointing that out, Joanne.
You're welcome.
Okay, next is information. Borough offices will be closed on Wednesday, December 24th and Thursday, December 25th in observance of Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. There will be no refuse collection on Wednesday or Thursday. Refuse will be collected on Tuesday, December 23rd for Wednesday's route and Friday, December 26th for Thursdays. Also, borough offices will be closed on Thursday, January 1st, 2026 for New Year's Day. Refuse will not be collected on Thursday. Refuse will be collected on Wednesday, December 31st. And now we have public comment, and we have none. So we will move on to council members for the good of the order. Rita, do you want to start tonight?
Sure. I have 3 items this evening, but I promise it won't take very long. The first item was, I was asked to bring an issue before the council tonight. As some of you might be aware, I am the Bellefonte area chairperson for the Central County GOP. During the election this November, one of our precinct chairs alerted me that he was filing an election complaint about one of our council members who was a poll watcher due to a cell phone violation inside his precinct. My point is not to call out the person that allegedly violated election law, but to make council aware of the incident and to encourage the new council to take steps to create a code of conduct or ethics for council which might address any type of improper or unethical behavior and some sort of accountability associated with those actions. Second, I'd like to thank the voters of the North Precinct for their confidence in me when I was elected to this position 4 years ago. It has been my honor and pleasure to serve on this council. This is not goodbye for me, though. I intend to stay involved with council and will be happy to be the eyes, ears, and voice for any of our borough residents that would so desire to use me as such. Finally, I'd like to give one final shout out to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, Carrie and Rodney, and also to RJ. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Randy, do you have anything?
Well, a little sad about leaving some people behind that's taking off here after tonight. I appreciate all you guys did here to keep this committee moving and going in the proper directions. We've had our ups and downs, but it happens sometimes. But I do appreciate everything you guys have done.
Thank you, Randy. Mayor Johnson, do you have anything tonight?
I just want to thank everybody as well for your contributions and wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year.
Ms. Clayton.
Yes, earlier this evening, I forwarded an email to all the council members and the mayor and Mr. Prabalka from the Victorian Christmas Planning Committee. On behalf of the Bellefonte Victorian Christmas Planning Committee, we wanted to thank the Bellefonte Borough government and staff for support of the 2025 Bellefonte Victorian Christmas. There was a lot of support from staff, council, maintenance, fire, police, and the police department to help make this event a great success. I would personally like to thank Phil and Kathy Breidenbaugh for taking on the mantle of coordinating this event every year as they have, and the other members of the coordinating committee who spent a lot of time and effort to keep all of the moving parts moving in the right direction. And finally, I'd like to thank President Dan for guiding us safely through a, as Randy put it, up and down kind of year. So thank you.
You're welcome. I had lots of great help for sure. Doug. Dave, do you have anything? Doug?
I too would like to thank you members for your service. I'll miss you on Streets Committee. It's an open meeting, so my mates here on this side of the table, it's been a pleasure. So stay active, stay in touch. And thank you for your hard work during this difficult year. Happy holidays to all, and I'll shout out to Rodney too. So, and have a great New Year.
I was going to write something down, but I never did. It's been a great 4 years of learning. Victorian Christmas was amazing this weekend. I was home before the snow started, which was even better. So many people out in town, but that's always great to see. I had something else. I might not be here for meetings, but I will still be all over town trying to, fill as many volunteer slots as I can for different places and organizations. And I'm really looking forward to that stage in Talleyrand. I hope the community band is the first ones on it, because really looking forward to playing on that stage and bringing some more music to town. But thank you all for all your hard work and your knowledge and everything you've done for 4 years.
Well, I'm going to repeat everyone else. I want to thank everyone for their service, everything that you've contributed in the past 4 years. I especially want to thank Barbara for the wild roller coaster ride we've been through this year. You handled it very well. And Merry Christmas to all, and I'll see you all next year.
Barb, just for you, I think the year that you had was up and down, more of a this and sometimes. But I think you did a great job. You kept us in line with the things you were trying to do to get things fixed back up and having the people here that we need, and hopefully we can continue with that. Thank you.
Appreciate that. It's because we have a good council. I have a little bit here. I did write mine down. Past year has tested this council and our borough in ways that absolutely none of us anticipated. The sudden retirement of our borough manager, our longtime borough manager, created immediate and significant challenges. Council stepped into an unfamiliar and demanding role, leading a thorough and transparent hiring process. Well, we were fortunate to identify 2 qualified candidates. Both ultimately withdrew for personal reasons. Despite the uncertainty and disruption this created, the borough did not falter. Don Holderman was gracious enough to step in and serve as interim manager from April till the end of August, and we all greatly appreciated his support and guidance through that time. In September, Mr. Probalka stepped into the role of interim borough manager with professionalism, competence, and calm leadership. Just as important, our chief of police, department supervisors, managers, and employees have shown exceptional dedication. They continue to lead their teams, to serve the public, and keep essential services running, often while carrying on additional responsibilities and navigating constant change. Their commitment to our community has been exemplary. Periods of transition reveal the true strength of any organization. This year has shown that Bellefonte Borough has strong leadership, a devoted staff, and a foundation built on teamwork and resilience. As this is my final meeting serving as council president, I want to thank my fellow council members for all your time, your willingness to work through difficult decisions, and also for your continuing commitment to Bellefonte Borough. I'd also like to extend my sincere appreciation to our entire staff for their professionalism and perseverance through this very challenging year. As we begin a new year, I'm confident in the direction of the borough. We have demonstrated our ability to lead through uncertainty, support one another, and keep the needs of the community at the center of our work. That gives me great confidence in what lies ahead for Bellefonte. Thank you. Joanne, do you have public comment?
Happy holidays to everybody on council, all of our staff, and every citizen and business here in Bellefonte. No matter what holidays you celebrate. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Joanne. I hope you're feeling better soon. Could I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting? Second. You were slow. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?